Hello out there in TV land, I'm your host Empire Jim, and today I have my playthrough of Fallout 76's beta.
You must rebuild. Not just walls, not just buildings, but hearts and minds, and ultimately, America itself. So as we stand here today, we pray that the world will know peace. But if that is not our destiny, if war must come, we stand together knowing that here in Vault 76, our future begins.
Well, hello. So the first thing I noticed when getting out of character creation is you could pick up this holotape, which is the game. Sadly, I couldn't find anything else in the vault that you could pick up outside of the items that are provided for you. So I'm going to skip this part and just go to the nitty-gritty. And somebody's playing an instrument somewhere in the vault. Now, the different rooms you do spawn in, one time I logged in, I was downstairs. This time I happen to be upstairs.
Such a huge responsibility. Just know that Vault Tech is proud.
Just follow the Vault Boy. They point the way.
When you hear this, it means
So these are the items that you can grab. I did spend some time looking around trying to grab other things. I just cut it out of the video.
This is the overseer. Signing off.
But if anybody does find other items you can in fact grab, please let me know in the comments below. You gotta have your party hat, because it is a celebration after all.
Outside surviving your construction and assembly mobile plant. You, Mum, possess the skills necessary to accomplish.
Now the Pip-Boy has a new mode, which is this transparent thing, which comes in handy, especially when there's no pause button. So that hand motion, unfortunately in a game like this, it's not necessary. This is me setting up the quick wheel. This is where your quick items, or if you set up melee or anything like that, you can kind of click on them and use them. It does still have the D-pad too for favorite items. Now with the first perk, I decided to go with intelligence, because this actually benefits crafting, and if you break down items you get a chance for better material. But as you can see, I picked the Gladiator perk card. Just because you pick a certain special does not mean you have to pick your perk card from that special. And the reason why I went melee is because it's a bit overpowered, especially in early gameplay, as you'll see. Back there was the Overseer's computer, and you can get a holotape from it, but I believe it's the same holotape that you get down the road from the robot. Gotta love the loading screens. Any kind of pictures you do take can and will end up on the loading screen. Now the first gun that you can loot is right outside the vault. Unfortunately I ran to it before I finished spawning in, but little bugs like that are expected to happen. This is put here basically to give you your first pistol. I'm also going to go to a few other the locations that I found that do have weapons early on in the game. So over here, course. Down here there's going to be some machines, but there are a lot of lootable things that you can get down here. I always seem to find at least a combat knife off of this one guy. This time I was lucky enough to find a golf club along with it. So over here there's a couple things to loot, suitcases, toolbox, and on the bus has a few items too. Now going through here and looting everything with a friend, it is random on what you do get for items. Ooh, wooden leg. Let's equip my wooden leg. Now, why I like melee with the VAT system, you automatically get a little charge to it, and that's how I did both of those. You just basically wait until it says 95%, because it's either 0 or 95, and it's a pretty quick hit. A little bit of lag there, unfortunately, but it's expected with an online game every once in a while. Especially at this point, everybody was logging in, so slowdown factor kind of took place. Luckily, this didn't last very long with the lag. Kind of as we all split off and went our own ways, it seemed to have got better. Now, this Jeep right here in the back always has bombs. There are different assortment of bombs you can get, but they're good to hold on to. From what I understand, they come very valuable in later gameplay. So, a couple more things on this little Jeep, or bus, I mean. A couple more things on this bus. And I did go in a big circle. If you go back up that staircase there, you're back at Vault 76. At this point, I'm trying to invite my friend to the game, but he's not showing up on my list for me to be able to, which isn't making much sense, but it's another little minor bug. He was able to see me on my friends list, so he was joining my game, and we were going to group up once he got in the game and did his character creation. Now you cannot re-enter the vault for some reason. I think it's the one time you're in there and that's it. But I did in fact try, just to see if you could. So, talking to the robot here will give you your main quest line.
Oh, madam. I found this holotape on the Overseer's terminal. Seems you should meet her at her camp, just down the road. The Overseer said she'd set up her camp.
Overseer's log.
Now down the staircase is another chance to get a melee weapon. This body always has a machete on
Had
it.
the moxie to try to find out where I've gone. But I'm glad you did. Truth is, I need your help. I've been given a task and...
While my friend is doing his character creation and loading onto my server, I'm going to do a bit of exploring while I wait, instead of just twiddling my thumbs in front of the vault.
There were 3 active nuclear silos in Appalachia before the bombs fell. They blew up the world before. We can't let it happen again. So we've got to locate and secure all of the silos. Or die trying. Hopefully the former. But it's been 25 years. I just don't know what.
So the throwing weapons, if you notice, that was tomahawks. They act pretty much the way the bombs do, so it takes that upper bumper.
I'll set up a camp on the way once I get my bearings. Find me there.
So one of the things I am looking for is any kind of animal that will have leather on it. Leather is the first armor you can create, so I want to make a full leather set if I can get the materials. Now keep your eye out for wood piles or even fallen down trees, because you can in fact gather from these. Now wood scraps you need for cooking. See how that guy's behind me hitting me right now? The reason why he's doing no damage to me is because neither one of us are level 5. At level 5, you can engage in PvP, but there's a slap system. Basically, they can do a little bit of damage to you, but until you engage with them, the PvP has not started. Though if they do manage to kill you doing that little bit of damage, they'll become a wanted murderer. Now upstairs on the roof, there are a couple instruments here. If you play the instrument for a minute, you will get a buff, which recharges your AP at a faster rate. So we ended up jumping servers in order for us to try to group together. For whatever reason, it was still giving us that weird bug where I couldn't see him, but he could see me. But once he did in fact log into the server, I was able to see him on recent playlist. So while I waited for him to join this server, I went around looting some more stuff, picking some flowers, and harvesting wood. And I came across this Moonshiner's Shack, filled with ticks. Now you see the one with the little crown? That is what's replacing legendary mobs in this version of the game. Mainly they'll have better drops than the regular ones. And if you haven't been able to tell already, I grab everything. Now, at any crafting table, you are able to scrap all of your junk to lower your overall weight. As you can see right here, I just picked up a recipe. These recipes can be found out in the world, and they're any kind of crafting item from cooking all the way to base building, armor, and weapons. These recipes do have to be learned though, and you can find them in your Pip-Boy under the Note tab. Simply click on them, and you've learned them. Now if you come across recipes that you've already learned, don't worry, for these recipes can be sold or traded. As you can see, you can't do too many mods in the beginning of the game. As you progress, you're able to do more and more mods. So if you're looking for a certain one that you liked in the previous Fallout titles, you may just have to level up before you can get that. Now, while in a group and you happen to pick up something that's out in the world, not everybody can loot that item. But if it's in a box, everyone has an opportunity to loot that item, and they will get different stuff in the box than you, because it's private loot. World loot, though, anything like sitting on the table, counter, anything like that, it's first come, first grab. Except for harvesting the flowers, wood, and any kind of plant type thing like that, everybody has an opportunity to loot that. Now my friend has finally got out of the vault and got over here and has joined the party. So now the two of us are working together, and as long as we are near each other in a certain point, you get experience for kills and able to loot those bodies. Of course, I'm not sure on how far this distance is. There were certain instances where I felt we were close enough and should have got loot, and we just didn't. As you can see, shooting, the closer you get, the better your percentage to actually hit them comes up. It's one of the reasons why I like melee. You get close enough to them, you do a charge attack, and you automatically hit them. I finally gave up chasing after this possum. He just got too far ahead of me and I ran out of AP. Now we're going to go down here and check out this little loggers camp. There's a couple buildings and houses around there to loot, and we're going to make our way to the overseer's camp. So my party member was at the Moonshiner shack that I was at previously, using the crafting table and breaking down materials and different things like that. Now I could have easily went on without him, but sharing XP and loot and kind of that camaraderie that comes with online game is the reason why I hung around waiting for him. The respawn rate of the mobs, I feel, is very good. In that short amount of time, I was able to fight these ticks again. The items, though, on the other hand, is a longer respawn time. I haven't exactly figured out how long before the world items respawn, but I'm sure somebody out there has. I think that's going to do it for this episode. We'll continue with part 2 next. Thank you. This is Empire Jim signing off. Bye-bye.